All right. Hi again. Welcome to Qigong for Resistance. I'm so happy that you joined us. Really happy to be here with you. Again, this is the link to the practice guide if you haven't downloaded it yet. And I wanted to begin with a few notes on access. Sounds like, we checked in the volume of the audio is working. And this workshop will be relying a lot on auditory guidance. And so, as we mentioned, there's captions available. You can activate them by clicking show captions at the bottom of your screen. And a recording of this session will be available, and that recording will also have captions that are edited for clarity by me. One second. So I'll also audio describe myself. I'm a multiracial, white, and Kazakhstani Chinese masculine transgender person with curly chin-length hair that's parted in the center, light skin, thick eyebrows, a mustache. I'm wearing a black t-shirt and a black and white Palestinian keffiyeh. And the practices we'll learn today involve a small amount of gentle physical movement, and they can all be adapted for sitting, standing, or lying down. And mostly we'll be relying pretty heavily on visualization and some optional breath work. And what I want to say is these practices have multiple points of entry, whether it's visualization, movement, breathing, and they are effective through any of those doors. So anything that is open to you, I invite you to try it on. Anything that doesn't feel right for your body, it's okay, you can just let it go. And I'm just going to pause for a second for any questions in the chat before we keep going around access needs. Okay, I think we're good. So let's keep rolling. Welcome again to Qigong for Resistance, and I want to dedicate this experimental Qigong practice session to the peoples of Palestine, East Turkestan, Sudan, Congo, Tigray, and Nagorno-Karabakh, and all people who are surviving and resisting genocide. And my name is Daria, and my pronouns are he and him, and I am a commitment to ending intergenerational cycles of violence. And you might know at Accountability Mapping, I teach transformative justice through the body. And at Red Rabbit Astrology, I help BIPOC chart the course of their destiny through Bazi Chinese astrology. I am Russian and Kazakhstani Chinese. I'm an autistic trans person, and I came to the so-called US as a refugee when I was a child, and I'm also a chronically ill survivor of child sexual abuse. And I'm really grateful to Amita from Mirror Memoirs for collaborating with me on our event today and supporting with offering this webinar and sharing on Instagram, creating graphics and information. And if you don't know, you haven't heard of Mirror Memoirs yet, they're really amazing. It's a national storytelling and organizing project intervening in rape culture by uplifting the narratives, healing, and leadership of BIPOC, LGBTQI+, child sexual abuse survivors. And membership is open to anyone who wants to co-create a world without child sexual abuse, regardless of their identities. So you can follow them on Instagram at Mirror Memoirs or join their email list. These links are in your practice guide, but I'll also drop the email list into the chat. So please follow them if you don't already, they're amazing. And I'm dialing in today from Lenape land, colonially known as New York City. And if you, like me, are not located on your people's ancestral lands, I want to invite you to take a moment to name aloud the indigenous people of the lands that you're on. And if you don't know yet, there's a website, nativeland.ca, with a really cool mapping tool that can help you find out. So I will drop that link in the chat as well. And so this event is completely free, but if it's within your means, I want to invite you to make a donation to eSIMS for Gaza to keep Palestinian people, connected to each other and the rest of the world. And you can find the directions and more information about how to do that on the last page of your practice guide. And again, for folks who just joined, let me drop the link to your practice guide one more time in the chat. So today I want to invite us to connect to our bodies, connect to each other, and connect to the earth through our breath, through our imagination, and through gentle movement. Because systems of oppression rely on us burning out, withdrawing, and surrendering our agency. So let's practice together today to both sustain ourselves emotionally and to keep our resistance going. I'm going to start with a brief intro to Qigong and Taoist cosmology, and then we will move into some extended practice time. Qigong is a cultural technology of circulating and balancing qi, which is our life force or the flow of energy within us. And when our qi flows unimpeded and in harmony with the earth and the cosmos, we experience better physical and emotional health, greater well-being, greater connection to our power and our agency. And the roots of Qigong extend back several millennia to the ritualistic dancing of the Wu. The Wu are Chinese shamanic priests and doctors of multiple genders, and they would dance to align their energetic bodies with the energetic bodies of the earth and of the heavens. And so today we practice their energetic choreography to align our bodies with the rhythms of the sun, the moon, the planets, and the stars. And Qigong is a part of traditional Chinese medicine, and it's based in the 5-element or the 5-phase system, as well as Taoist cosmology. And before we begin, I wanted to share some concepts, some ideas from the landscape of Taoist cosmology to help us sink into and understand these practices on a deeper level. And to begin, I want to invite us to actually turn our attention to the illustrations in our practice guide. So here is the link one more time if you don't have it. For folks who are just joining us. And let me see if I can also share my screen for a moment. Okay, can folks see a shared image? Trying to relocate the chat from this view. Great, you can, wonderful. So I want to invite you to take a moment and check out this image. I will also audio describe it. There is a figure who is seated in a meditative position in between the earth below. I don't know if you can make it out, but there are some rolling hills and some tiny little houses. And at the crown of their head is the sky, blue clouds, the sun, the moon, and the Big Dipper, which is an important constellation where our spirits, our souls descend from into our bodies in this Taoist cosmology. And just for the audio description, inside of this figure's seated body, there's a wheel of rainbow energy, many colors that are swirling in a sphere altogether. And there are different colored circles over parts of the torso, white circles with an image of a tiger over the lungs, a red circle with an image of a phoenix over the heart, a green circle with an image of a dragon over the liver, and a golden circle with an image of a golden phoenix over the stomach and the spleen on the left side of the torso. And there are two blue circles with an image of a snake in the kind of lower kidney area of the seated figure. So I'm just gonna stop sharing for a moment and go back to my notes. So in this illustration, something that you might already be beginning to notice is that inside of our body, we have many energies moving, and some of these energies are the energies of our emotions. And in Taoist cosmology, our emotions live in our bodies, like literally live in our bodies as 5 elemental souls who have homes in our organs. And in one of our practices, we will be meeting these different souls and the emotional energies they represent. And something I want to say is, inside of this system, there are no bad or wrong emotions. Our emotions can be overwhelming, and our emotions can become stuck. So it may be necessary to learn to let them move through and out of our bodies. And in this cosmology, our bodies are actually a natural landscape that is a microcosm of the natural world around us. So quite literally, like the world is full of streams, rivers, mountains, fields, deserts, the stars, forests, our bodies too are filled with rivers, mountains, fields, forests, deserts, stars. And as we know, often intuitively, the conditions of the land of the world around us also mirror the conditions of the land of our bodies. Another piece that I want to introduce before we start is that our bodies are really wise. They're very wise, and by design, they already know how to release stress and tension. And one of the ways that we, by design, release stress and tension through our bodies is with sound. I like to think about, for those who have dogs or have ever been around dogs, you might observe they make a lot of little sounds when they have feelings, when they're overwhelmed, when they want to shake something off. So we're built really similarly. We laugh, we moan, we cry, we groan, we cough, we sigh, we yawn, we scream as a way to move energy out of our nervous systems and out into the world, as a way to harmonize and balance our internal state. And then the last thing that I want to introduce is we are both full of the flow of qi inside of our body, like you see in this image, but also, as you see in this image, there's like an aura, a radiance of qi that emanates outside of the boundaries of our body. And this qi is called Wei Qi, and it is a powerful and protective energy field, the Wei Qi field. And we can strengthen this protective field through daily practice. So one of the practices we'll be learning is a visualization practice to help strengthen this protective energy field. So I know this has been a lot of different concepts, and I want to pause for a second and see if there are any questions or clarifications that folks need. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, so if you have a question, please reach out to me in the chat. I think that will be the easiest way to get it answered. So there's a question, can you share more about Wei Qi and different types of Qi? That's a really great question. I'll see if I can gather some resources to answer it more deeply and send it out with the audio recording. And yes, there will be notes and there will be a recording available. Okay, so one question, are there also animals in Chinese astrology, and are these, it sounds like the question is, are these the same animals in this illustration that are associated with our bodies and our emotions? They are slightly different sets of animals. The zodiac animals have their own lore, they have their own narrative and archetype, so they're actually not the same. We'll learn inside of one of the practices the types of energies and roles that these animals play inside of our body, but these are protective animals that represent different cardinal directions around us. So they're different than the animals of the zodiac. And yes, questions around creatures, energies, we will explore and learn that through the practice narratives themselves. Okay, so with that, let's keep going. So a few more notes. We're going to begin with some gentle movement before moving into two longer visualization practices. And of those two longer visualization practices, the first, the 6 healing sounds, will help us move through anger, grief, fear, and anxiety in our bodies. And then the second practice, the Wuzong 5 organ meditation for protection, will help us generate an inner sense of safety and protection. And that'll answer some of your questions about Wei Qi as well. And so these practices have been adapted from my training at the Acupuncture and Integrative Medicine College in Berkeley, and I very, very strongly do not recommend that program. And what I recommend instead is to study with a queer POC practitioner. There's a recommendation. I know, thanks for the laughing, crying. Yeah, it was do not recommend. But in the practice guide, there's a link to one practitioner that I do recommend, who is a queer woman of color, Sally, who runs Evergreen Taiji Academy in the Bay, has both in-person classes in the Bay and a lot of online course material. And if you know of any other BIPOC, especially queer BIPOC practitioners, please send them my way, and I can compile a list and send it out in the follow-up emails. And also in that resource list, along with Sally's Evergreen Taiji Academy website link, there is a book called The Ethical Psychic by Dr. Jennifer Lisa Vest, who can help you kind of build the discernment and the skills if you are looking for an energetic or spiritual teacher, whether it's Qigong or another modality, helping you find somebody who is trustworthy and practices ethically. So one last note before we take a bio break and then begin practice. So inside of one of the practices, there's going to be a phrase, and I want to clarify this phrase so it doesn't sound like an invitation for spiritual bypassing. But in the Six Healing Sounds practices, there will be a moment when I say transforming hatred and cruelty to joy, love, and compassion. And I want to be really clear that, like we said before, all emotions are good. None of them are wrong. It's okay to feel how you feel. And this is not an invitation to transform any cruelty, hatred, frustration, or anger you feel towards people who are oppressing you or others into like love and compassion for them. It's an invitation to transform those energies into love and compassion for yourself and for people who you are in solidarity with. So I know that might not make sense now, but I just want to preface it before you're all in your body and hear that, and it might land in a jarring way. So with that, I want to invite us to begin to transition into practice. Let's take maybe a 5-minute bio break. So if you need to use the bathroom, get water, clear out some space around you about arm's distance. Now is a good time to do that. I'm going to grab some water. If you have questions, meanwhile, you can drop them in the chat, and if I can answer them, I will. And we will start in about 5 minutes. Okay, so let's slowly start making our way back from break time. I saw a question around how long does the session last? We'll be going, I think, another like 45 minutes to an hour. But feel free to drop out if you need to. There will be a recording sent out. Thank you for all of the recommendations of the practitioners in the chat. I'm really excited to learn about them, and I'll compile them and share them out with the group. And yeah, if you have more, please keep them coming. All right, so let's begin with the practice part of our time together. I want to invite you to take a moment to just allow yourself to land exactly where you are, exactly how you are. And again, seated, laying down, standing, whatever is most supportive and allows you to feel most deeply connected to your body. And I want to invite you to take 3 slightly deeper breaths. And as you breathe, allowing your breath to continue to invite you in, down from your thinking self and into your feeling self. And as you breathe, I want to invite you to imagine breathing in fresh chi, fresh life force from the cosmos, from the universe. And on your exhales, letting go of anything that's not yours, anything that you don't need to be holding on to. Letting it go with your exhales, really letting it fall out of your mouth and down onto the floor, into the earth. And as you continue to breathe, I want to invite you to drop your attention down into the palms of your hands. And in the palms of your hands, there's an energetic opening, an opening that allows chi to travel in and out of. You both have the ability to receive energy through the palms of your hands and also to send energy outwards into the world. And these energetic openings also exist in the palms of our feet. Imagining our feet have the ability to receive chi, receive energy directly from the earth, and also to send energy out through our feet into the earth, allowing us to ground ourselves, allowing us to deepen our connections to the earth. And if it's available to you in your body, I want to invite you to take your palms and gently rub them together. And as you rub them together, you are generating chi. You are generating energy between the palms of your hands. And see if you can feel that as a warmth or a friction building. And once you feel some warmth, some energy in between the palms of your hands, I want to invite you to pause and just gently separate them. And take a moment to drop your attention into the space between the palms of your hands. You are holding a ball of chi, a ball of energy. And see if you can sense into this ball, either with your sensations or with your imagination. It might feel like a magnetism between your palms. It might feel like a warmth or a vibration or a density. Taking a moment just to play with this ball of energy that you've created, this ball of chi. You can expand it, contract it. You can move it around your space. And see if you can allow your imagination to continue to flesh out, to explore what your unique energy, what your unique chi is like, what it feels like, what it looks like. Perhaps it has a color. Maybe it's green or maroon or yellow and radiant like the sun. Perhaps there's an image. Maybe it is a bubble or a star. Maybe it is a flying orb of water. Maybe it's a flame. Continuing to breathe and feel into your sensations. And now I want us to take this ball of chi and sense for a moment through our bodies, what quality do we need the most right now? Maybe it's rest or connection, courage, inspiration. Taking a few breaths just to notice what you need. And then with your intention and your imagination, I want you to fill this ball of chi with exactly the quality that you need now, really sending it in through your palms into this ball of energy, feeling it move through your body into the space between your hands. And now we're going to take our ball of chi filled with whatever we need most right now, and we're going to bring it into the place inside of our body where we need it the most, bringing it directly into your body. I'm going to bring mine right over my eyes. And with your breath, just allow yourself to absorb, receive, accept this offering from you of exactly what you need. Exactly what you need, exactly where you need it. Letting this chi enter, fill, melt into your body. Gently receiving this offering from yourself to yourself. And then whenever you're ready, you can just let the palms of your hands go. So this is a practice you can use anytime to meet yourself, to really treat yourself with kindness, with support. It is a medical Qigong practice, so it's actually used as an energetic and healing treatment to bring the kind of energy that we need, the kind of support that we need directly where we need it into the body. And next, we're going to move into an energy. This has been a practice of bringing in what we need into the body. Next, we're going to move into a practice around removing energy that we don't need out of our body, sending it out into the earth. But before we move to that practice, I want to pause and see if there's any questions. Okay. So the next practice is called pulling down the heavens. And this practice you can imagine is like an energetic shower. We're going to be gathering energy from the earth and from the cosmos, the heavens above us, and then bringing that energy into and through our body in order to wash away anything that we don't need, really sending it back down into the earth, clearing our own energy field. And you can use this practice anytime anytime you need it, but also anytime that you are in transition and you want to let something go, like send it away, and enter into a deeper and clearer state of connection with yourself. And so this practice is going to involve some arm movement that is a little bigger than what we did. And I want to say, feel free to adapt the size of the arm movement to whatever feels comfortable to your body. You can do this laying down if you have some arm space, sitting down, also standing up. I'll demonstrate it standing. And first, let me just show you the movement of the hands before we add the imagery and the concepts behind it. So with our arms, we're going to be drawing a gentle circle in the space above us. And I'll audio describe what I'm doing. I'm lifting my hands at my sides with my palms down. And when they reach about shoulder level, I'm gently turning my palms up towards the sky, and then my hands continue to arc until they're just slightly above my head. And then with my palms down, I imagine pushing energy down towards the floor, sending my palms down towards the floor until we return to where we began. So again, the motion is moving our hands, first palms down and then palms up in a gentle circle that's in the front of our body. And again, you can do this sitting down, you can do this lying down. And if this motion isn't accessible to your body, you can actually just do the visualizations themselves. The motions in Qigong, again, they're a choreography, and this choreography is meant to support us in imagining energy moving through and in and out of our bodies. But eventually, the motions themselves aren't necessary when you're able to connect with the sensations and the images themselves. So let's take a moment to drop back in with 3 slightly deeper breaths. So exactly where you are, exactly as you are, allowing these breaths to allow you to land and reconnect with your body. And we're going to begin by inhaling as we raise our arms up. And then on our exhales, we're going to bring our arms down. And as we inhale, we're going to imagine we're inhaling energy from the earth. And then we're inhaling fresh chi, fresh life force from the sky, from the cosmos. And then we're letting that wash over us like an energetic shower, sending down anything we don't need, anything that's not ours, down into the earth. And while our hands, of course, stop about here, this push of the energy down continues down past our legs and into the floor below. So we're inhaling into the palms of our hands, into the soles of our feet, into the crown of our head. We're gathering all of this fresh chi, fresh life force, and we're washing away, exhaling through your mouth, washing away any energy that you don't need to hold on to, letting it flow down through your body and soak into the floor and into the earth below. So we're going to imagine we're breathing in, not only, of course, through our nose, but also through the soles of our feet. We're breathing in energy from the earth. And also through the crown of our head, we're breathing in energy from the sky. And then all of that is sent over our body, releasing stress and tension into the earth. And so our arms move at the speed of our breath. And for you, you might be moving at a slightly different speed than I am. So I want to invite you to do this practice 3 times and see if you can allow your body to move with your own breath. And we'll begin whenever you're ready. In this practice called pulling down the heavens, I'm also going to do it slightly from the side. It has a little bit of a wave. So you can imagine breathing in and rising, and breathing out, settling back down. It's almost like your body is expanding like a balloon. And then on your exhales, releasing, collapsing back. And we're going to do this one last set of 3. And this set of 3, we're going to imagine that on the first round, we're taking all of this earth energy, all of this cosmic energy, and we're washing down the front of our body. Anything that's attached to you on the front of your body, you can imagine this is like a shower, swiping it, washing it away. Now, on the second one, our arms are going to be doing the same thing, but in our imagination, we're washing and brushing down the back of our body. So anything that's attached to the back of your body, it's getting washed away and sent down into the earth. And then on the third round, we're gathering up all this chi, all of this energy, and we're sending it kind of like a scanner down through our body itself. Not only through our torso, but again, down through our legs, through our feet, and down into the earth. And with every round, all the energy that we gather and shed and release, it flows down through the floor beneath you, down into the earth, into the soil, into the water table where it can be composted, where it can return to the greater forces and flows of cosmic chi all around us. So whenever you're ready, 3 more at your own breathing pace. Taking a few more breaths and just imagining everything like water cascading down your body, releasing into the earth below. Okay, really great work. And so this practice, again, you can use anytime you need to reset your nervous system and detach yourself from stress, pain, tension, other people's energy, the impacts of oppression, and have a moment of respite and a moment of clear connection to your own life force, your own energy. So I want to take a moment and pause for questions. I wish I could see you all, but I can't. So let me take a look in the chat. So somebody asked about the first practice, when I'm thinking about where in the body things are needed, is it useful to think in terms of chakras? That is a really great question. So there are so many different cosmological understandings of the energetic maps of our bodies and how they interface and relate to the greater world that we're part of. And the chakra system is one of those. And so, if that is useful for you, if it's something that's more familiar, part of your cultural lineage, something that is easier for you to imagine, absolutely feel free to build and expand on your own knowledge, both of your body and of cultural technologies. Yeah, there are many ways to describe our connections to ourselves, to our bodies, to the world around us. Is it normal to feel things physically shifting in your body? Yes. Yeah. And kind of more broadly, everything that you feel is, in a way, it is normal. It's part of your life experience. It's valid exactly as it is. And it's information to get curious about and explore. But yeah, physically shifting, absolutely. The way that medical Qigong is practiced is by physically shifting energy in different parts of our bodies. In some places, we might have Qi that's accumulated and there's too much, it needs to be allowed to flow. Other places, there might be a deficit and we need to bring energy into that space. So, physically shifting sensations are definitely a part of the practice itself. Someone's cat calmed down when they did this. That's wonderful. Is burping an energetic release? Yes. Burping, coughing, absolutely. Yeah. I'm glad multiple cats are having positive responses. There's a question around the lungs, and the practices that we're moving into are going to be working with and addressing both the lungs as a location in the body and also the energies that the lungs represent inside of this system. So, hopefully, more information will come through those. Someone's asking that their hands are still tingling. Any way to ground or neutralize this? One thing you can try is shaking your hands out. Another thing you can try is, if it feels accessible to you, placing your hands close to the earth on the floor. The Qi ball exercise, the way that I was taught, is healing ball of Qi, is the colloquial name for it, though I'm confident it is not the only one. There's a handful of questions that I'll answer at the end or are beyond my skill set and capacity. But for now, we're going to keep rolling into a series of practices that are going to involve no movement, but actually visualization and some optional breath work. And so for these practices, I invite you to get as comfortable as possible. If that means sitting, if it means laying down, please take your time to bring yourself into the most supportive position. I'm going to be narrating, so you don't have to worry about the screen. You can shift your orientation away from the screen if you need. And we're going to be practicing continuously for the rest of our time together. And there'll be a moment in between practices for a short bio break. So, as you find your way to exactly where you need to be, I want to invite you to return back to those 3 breaths, 3 slightly deeper breaths, where you are bringing in cosmic chi, cosmic life force into your body, and on your exhales, releasing anything that you don't need. And as you breathe, I want to invite you to imagine that, like there is an expansive sky above you, there is an expansive sky inside you. And like the wind blows through that sky above you, the wind blows through the sky inside you, blowing through the branches of the forests of your body, blowing over the peaks of the mountains of your body, blowing along the banks of the rivers and the lakes of your body. Churning waves in the oceans of your body, and picking up sand and carrying it across the deserts of your body. And this wind continues to traverse your internal landscape until it arrives at a spring green meadow. A spring green meadow full of wildflowers. And this spring green meadow is your liver on the right side of your rib cage. Dropping your attention and maybe your touch to this meadow, and imagine breathing in a bright green light directly into this meadow. And on your exhales, transforming any anger, irritability, and frustration into kindness, generosity, and abundance. And we're going to use a sound to help us with this transformation. And the sound for the liver is shh. So join in if you want to. I encourage you. And one last one. And letting that sound go, letting your breath return to its regular rhythm. And as spring eventually turns to summer, the grass in this meadow begins to grow tall and dry out in the summer heat. And it becomes kindling for the little fire that is our heart, dropping our attention and maybe our touch down into the heart and imagining breathing in a soft pink light into this fire. And on our exhales, transforming any impatience, hatred, and cruelty into joy, love, and compassion. And the sound for the heart to help with this transformation is your own version of a sigh, something like so join in. And one last one. Letting that sound go and letting your breath return to its regular rhythm. And as summer turns to late summer, the fire in our heart creates ash, which descends down to join the soil of the little planet Earth that is our spleen and stomach on the left side of our torso. Bringing your attention, maybe your touch, to this little planet Earth and imagining breathing in a yellow, late summer, golden hour sunlight to this little Earth. And on your exhales, transforming any worry, anxiety, and mistrust into openness, fairness, and trust. And the sound for the earth element is your own version of a groan, something like, oh. And one last one. Letting that sound go and letting your breath return to its regular rhythm. And as late summer gives way to fall, the earth element creates metal, and the clouds around this little planet Earth begin to rise, flowing upwards through our body and growing and becoming more dense, and eventually splitting into two and becoming the two white clouds of mist that are our lungs. Imagining breathing in a bright white light into the lungs. And on your exhales, transforming any grief, sadness, and depression into courage, confidence, and righteousness, justice. And the sound to help this transformation is kind of like a hiss, but through your teeth. And one last one. And letting that sound go, letting your breath return to its regular rhythm. And as fall turns to winter, these clouds turn to water and begin to condense down into rain, raining and pouring down through your torso to fill the deep wells, the deep lakes that are your kidneys. Dropping your attention, maybe your touch into your kidneys and your lower back. And imagining breathing in a deep blue light. And on your exhales, transforming any fear into gentleness, creativity, and tranquility. And the sound for the kidneys is like the sound of rushing water, something like and one last one. Letting that sound go and letting your breath return to its regular rhythm. And spring gives way to winter once again, as it always does. And imagine now this abundance of water flowing back upwards to the spring green meadow where our journey began. Imagining all of this water nourishing this meadow and setting off another cycle of emotions like seasons coming and going through the body. Like messengers, each bringing information and continuing on their way, making space for the new. And imagining now all of these colors forming a harmonious rainbow wheel inside of the body. A wheel that's perpetually turning and balancing. A wheel that is harmonizing all of the flow of life force and energy inside your torso. And we'll do one last sound to support the turning, the harmonizing of this rainbow wheel. And this sound is the sound of laughter. And so imagine breathing in rainbow light, and on your exhale with the smile, the sound is he. 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 more times with a big smile. He. He. And letting all that go. Letting your breath return to its regular rhythm. And allowing yourself to take a final bird's eye view flight over the landscape of your body. Noticing any shifts in energy or sensation that may or may not have happened during this practice. And then whenever you're ready, slowly shifting your attention back into your space. You can stay exactly as you are, exactly where you are, but maybe take a moment to just gently turn your head from side to side, allowing yourself to take in where you are. And hopefully, this is a place that's calm, safe, and familiar. Letting yourself gently arrive back from this journey. This is a good time if you need a sip of water or a bio break. And if you're good where you are, just relax where you are for a few minutes, feeling into your body. And in a few minutes, we'll move into the Wu Zang 5-organ meditation for energetic protection. And anybody else that needs it, a few minute bio break. All right. We will now continue into the next practice. This one will be just visualization. And so, again, getting as comfortable as you can be where you are, laying down, sitting down, standing up. No need to look at the screen. I'll just guide you gently through this. So the Wu Tsang meditation surrounds us with a field of protective energy that's generated by those 5 elemental spirits of our body that we talked about before. So we'll be getting to meet them and work with them a little more now. And this practice can be used at any time to create physical, energetic, and spiritual protection. So let's begin, as we do, with 3 slightly deeper breaths. Letting each breath land you a little deeper exactly where you are. Imagining breathing in fresh chi, fresh life force, and letting your exhales gently roll out of your mouth, letting go of anything you don't need to hold on to. And as you breathe, I want to invite you to bring your attention into the crown of your head. And imagine a portal beginning to open. A portal connecting you to the sky above. And a shooting star falls down from the sky into this portal. And then dozens, hundreds of stars begin to pour into you, filling you with a cosmic light that radiates throughout your entire body. And this starlight begins to coalesce into a powerful beam that runs from the crown of your head all the way down to the base of your pelvis. And this beam of starlight chi pulses and resonates with the rhythms of the cosmos. Allowing yourself to feel that pulsing, that vibration with 3 slightly deeper breaths. And now a golden mist begins to rise from beneath the earth, entering your body through the soles of your feet. It winds up your legs, through your pelvis, filling up your spleen and stomach with a golden light. And this golden mist is Yi, the spirit of the earth, and the energy of your intention, discernment, and integrity. It roots you securely into the earth and stabilizes your power. And this mist continues to rise, enveloping the starlight chi beam inside your body, creating a single pole of chi running from the very core of the earth through your body and up into the cosmos. And this mist transforms into a great golden phoenix that flies out of the crown of your head like a fountain and continues to fly counterclockwise in the skies above you, looking out for you, watching over you, protecting you. Now take a few breaths into the area of your heart. And on your exhales, imagine the gates of your heart opening, releasing a red phoenix surrounded by a fiery whirlwind of qi. This is your Shen, the spirit of fire and the energy of inspiration, awareness, and insight. Lively, graceful, tremendously powerful. And the red phoenix hovers in the air in front of you, protecting the front of your body. Now drop your attention into your lower back, into the area of your kidneys. And on your exhales, imagine a portal beginning to open, releasing a waterfall of dark blue kidney qi that pours out into the space behind you. And out of this water emerges an enormous black turtle with a snake. And this turtle's shell protects you like a mighty, impenetrable shield. This is your Zhi, the spirit of water and the energy of wisdom, willpower, and the sheer will to survive. Your Zhi protects you with the power and courage of all of the ancestors, mentors, and teachers in your lineage, backing you, supporting you. The turtle has your back with its mighty shell. Now, take a few breaths and drop your attention into your lungs. And on your exhales, imagine a portal opening on the right side of your body, underneath your right ribs. And a bright, hot cloud of lung qi hisses out of this portal, forming a massive white tiger, as strong as steel and fiercely protective. This is your Po, the spirit of metal and the energy of your instincts and your body's animal nature. It guards and defends you with an unstoppable animal passion for survival. The white tiger takes its place at the right side of your body. Now take a few breaths and drop your attention down into your liver. And on your exhales, imagine a portal opening on the left side of your body and a dense green fog of liver qi floating out, forming a great green dragon, sinewy and resilient like bamboo. This is your Hun, the spirit of wood and the energy of your visions, dreams, and imagination. It guards and defends you with an intense spiritual passion for victory. The green dragon takes its place at the left side of your body. And each animal slowly begins to rotate to the left, stalking and defending the previous animal's position. And their energies begin to encircle you, flying counterclockwise, faster and faster until you are enveloped in a mighty vortex. and their colors blend together into a rainbow bubble of protective Wei Qi that surrounds your entire body like a cocoon. You are now completely protected. You are now completely protected. You are now completely protected. And one by one, the animals begin to return to their homes in your body, re-entering through that energetic portal at the crown of your head. The red phoenix flies back to rest in the nest of your heart. The black turtle swims back to the kidneys. The white tiger returns to its territory in the lungs. And the green dragon flies home to the liver. And finally, the golden phoenix arrives back to the spleen. And the white beam of starlight chi running through your body grows larger and larger until it fills you completely, emerging out of your pores like a white steam. And the steam fills the rainbow Wei Qi bubble around you, forming a solid connection between your body's internal organs and the protective energetic chi field all around you. And now the Wu Tsang meditation for energetic protection is complete. Take a few final breaths and imagine the 7 stars of the Big Dipper sparkling above your head, guiding your way. And you can now re-enter the world knowing you are physically, energetically, and spiritually protected. Gently allowing yourself to take 3 more breaths to return from this journey. Gently inviting your attention back into the space around you. Turning your head gently from side to side and just noticing, taking in that you are back in your space, a space that I hope is calm, safe, and familiar. The full narratives of these 2 practices are in your practice guide. Let me see if I still have the link in case anybody missed it. Yeah. So there's your practice guide. In your practice guide, there are also some resources, books on Taoist cosmology, a link to a queer woman of color practitioner of Qigong, Sally from Evergreen Taiji Academy, who has online courses. And I'll compile all the recommendations that folks so kindly offered into the chat in the follow-up email along with the recording. So there'll be even more practitioners of color that you can continue studying with. There's also some learning resources about the history of American Chinese medicine, as it's called by Dr. Tyler Fawn, some like political context for these practices inside of the greater system of traditional Chinese medicine in the so-called United States. And I want to invite you to use these 4 practices anytime you need them. And you can, read the transcript, you can listen to the audio of the recording, you can take the sounds with you, make them anytime you want to help support moving emotions through the body. And in terms of access, I also just noticed there's like a whole thing of questions that's not in the chat that I missed. Sorry about that. I'll get to them soon. But one of the questions was around access, and I just want to reiterate again that Qigong is a practice of circulating qi, circulating energy. And while physical movement helps support that and also helps us imagine and get in touch with that process happening in our body, the visualizations and the sounds are also powerful in their own right. So if the movements are not accessible to your body, feel free to continue working with the images and the sounds. And then I think the other thing around practicing at home that I forgot to mention is with the 6 healing sounds practice, it is also a medical Qigong practice that's like prescribed to people based on what they're experiencing in their constitution. And so while you can practice all of the sounds in the order that we did it or listen to the whole recording, you can also take the sounds and the emotions that they work with and really integrate them into your day. So if I'm feeling like overwhelmed with rage and anger, I can sit down and just be like, imagining that green light moving into my liver, imagining exhaling all of that energy from my body until I feel an energy shift. Yeah, so I hope these 4 practices give you tools to continue sustaining yourself, sustaining your physical and emotional well-being, so that we can continue sustaining our resistance to oppression, to genocide. And with that, that's all I have in terms of content, and I'll stay on for a bit to answer the questions that I missed and the questions that have come up as well. And so thank you again to all of you for coming, and look out for a recording of our time together. I really appreciate your vulnerability, your courage, and your trust to join me and try something potentially new during this time when I know we are so emotionally impacted. And I hope this helps us sustain our resistance and take powerful and concrete action out in the world. Okay. Thank you all for the love in the chat. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm going to see if I can catch up with the questions that I missed during practice time. It's my first time using webinar, and I didn't realize they get put in like a separate bar. So let's see. I will answer questions that I feel like are within my scope of knowledge. Some questions will not be within my scope of knowledge. But I also saw someone kindly offering answers and information into the chat already. As I know there are people here who have as much, if not much more, experience and knowledge as I do. So will this happen again? Oh, I totally forgot to say, you can follow me on Instagram. The links to accountability mapping and Red Rabbit astrology are in the practice guide. So if you join my email list or follow me on Instagram, if and when it happens again, probably will, you will know. And yeah, I also offer Chinese astrology chart readings if you're curious about what is in the stars for you in the coming year of the Yongwood Dragon. Okay, now back to the questions. So thank you for all the love. So I saw one question that stood out to me because I literally had the same exact question when I was learning these practices, which is why, if the liver is on the right side of the torso, does the dragon energy come out through the left? So yes, the liver is on the right side of the torso. I'm myself, while I have like a year's worth of training in the medical Qigong practice at Acupuncture and Integrative Medicine College of Berkeley, which I'll speak to again in a moment. And like I mentioned before, I really do not recommend. I'm not a medical Qigong practitioner or like a Qigong master. I'm sharing what I know. And what I practice for myself to support my healing. So I don't have the full answer to this question, but the way the teacher answered it to me was, these organs are not organs in the literal sense as we understand them in Western medicine and anatomy. They are like energetic and conceptual sites of a type of internal process, a type of energy and healing power. So with the liver, it's not located exactly where the liver is. The liver energy moves left out of the body. And if you know more than I do and have a better explanation, feel free to drop it in the chat. But one thing that I think is cool linked to that question is that inside of this world, these organs are not just like literal physical locations, but they are part of this natural landscape that lives inside of us. So, the liver is conceptualized as like this green meadow or green forest of trees, symbolizing the wood element. And the energy of anger and like the force needed to push through and begin a new cycle, which dipping into astrology for a second, Yang Wood is the energy of the coming year, Yang Wood dragon. And so I really hope that this powerful push, the beginning of new cycles, springtime helps us break through some of the oppressive limitations and barriers that we're facing and emerge into a time of more justice and liberation for oppressed people in the world.